Hey everyone, George here. So, as a part of my scaling series, what I want to talk about today is one of the most misunderstood and underutilized levers in your marketing, and that is your offer. You have great ads, great photos, and great follow-ups, but if you're listed as just another commodity on your website or in your marketing newsletters or what have you, your offer will be weak and it'll show up with your conversions. So in this episode, we'll cover on how to take care of that, amp up your offer, and get 10, 20x returns than you're used to. So I want to start this episode off with an example of two contractors, all else held equal. One has commodity-based pricing and the other has a strong offer. So commodity-based pricing in construction would look something like, we'll do your roofing, free estimate, call us today. But a strong offer would say, get a lifetime, no leak guarantee, zero down, will beat any competitor by $500, guaranteed, that kind of thing. And you've definitely seen this in the wild. Same exact service, totally different perceived value. Now, so let's walk through this one example, and I'm going to put it down here in the left, and let's go over it one by one. So with a regular commodity, which is pretty much 95% of people out there, we have the advertising spend at $10,000. We have impressions reached, let's assume 300,000 impressions reached with their advertising. We have, let's assume, response rate of 0.00133 rate. So that amounts to 40 bookings. Let's say of all the bookings, 75% show up. That's 30 appointments showed up. Closing 16%, that's what we'd assume. Appointments closed 5. Let's say price is $2,500. Total revenue for these 5 appointments is $12,500. So that's a 1.25x return on advertising spend. So with a strong offer, however, same exact advertising spend, same impressions. Now our response rate, we have a much higher 2.5x higher rate. So that results in 2.5 times the bookings, which is 100 bookings. Again, assume 75% show up, so 75 appointments showed. Closing, now again, when you've done your marketing correctly, that makes your sales call a lot easier. Usually that results in a lot higher conversions. And if you're at a third of closes of your sales calls, that means you're right about in the right spot. If you're above that, that means your price is probably too low. If you're below that, that means you need to work on your offer. Okay, and so appointments closed 28, same price, total revenue now 70,000, and here you have a 7x return on that same advertising spend. So this is this is something that you should really look into, is amping up your offers for your next advertising campaign. Yeah, both contractors spent $10,000 on advertising budget. One had $70,000 of revenue as a result. One had $12,500. That's a 22x difference in cash collection. Just the offer alone has a difference. Now, it's not exactly magic. It's more psychology. You need to make this as attractive as possible to the person looking for this service. And how do we do that? So a strong offer, there's 3 key things that make a very valuable offer. Number one is it removes risk. So from the buyer's perspective, they're almost trying to find any reason to not purchase your service, to not go with you. Like any one of 1,000 million different things could cause them to not take you up on the offer. I mean, that's why usually the rate of getting bookings as a ratio of impressions is very low. So, number one, you want to remove the risk. Like any guarantees, warranties, we'll fix it for free. Like these types of promises you can make. Every now and then you might have somebody that cashes in on their guarantee or their warranty, but it's super rare actually. Most people will just pay for the service and kind of move on. And if you had to, charge back 5% of it, you still had a significantly higher, like you saw in that one example, 22x higher return on it. So I mean that guarantee to just make that promise in your offer, assuming that it could be held up and it's reasonable and everything, it's definitely worth that extra possible chargeback in the future, which is usually a very low rate. Increase in perceived value. So bonuses, upgrades, speed of service. These are all things that would increase your offer as well. and create urgency. Like always make an offer, limited spots, special pricing, timing triggers. When people know like so many seats left, when people know that there's only so much time that they need to make a decision, they're, to take you up on what is this great offer, they're more inclined to actually make that up, make that decision, versus you just have a flat price on your website and this is it, and they know they could come back to it next week or the week after, and they just never get around to it for the most part. Now, here's what a lot of contractors get wrong. So they just keep throwing money on ads, thinking that it's going to eventually have, more conversions. And although the absolute number of conversions might increase, the conversion rate itself might not be that great. So what you have to do is you have to set up different ad campaigns and test out different ones. Like you might have one that you think is going to be, a great offer and it's going to have a great return. And you might have another that you think is nothing that special to speak of, and the results might really vary. You never know. Like in marketing, they do a lot of A/B testing. They test out different campaigns with like just a slight variation in each one and see which one sticks, and then they go and use that. Eventually, an offer will fatigue, but I mean, until it runs its course, you could, milk what you can get from it. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the idea is you want to test out different offers. Like every week or two, put out a different offer, whatever makes sense for you, whatever makes sense for the business, whatever makes it seem, great, that you can hold yourself to. And basically, eventually, one of those offers will be a home run, and you'll hit it out of the park. And when you do that, you're going to have a very high return on advertising spend. So you don't always necessarily need more leads. Sometimes you need better offers. You need to increase that conversion rate. The idea is you want to make offers that are so good that people would feel stupid saying no. So again, guarantee the result somehow, de-risk the purchase. Add a value bomb, meaning, a bonus, an add-on, a free something. And add urgency, a time limit, limited spots, something to that effect, that they need to act sooner rather than later. For example, book your roof replacement before December 15 and will include free gutter guards and a lifetime leak warranty, something like that. So as long as it hits these 3 criteria, guarantee the result, add a value bomb, and create that time limitation / urgency. Like these are the 3 key things you want to hit with every offer, and test them out. Like put out one offer per week on your website or on, Meta ads, Google ads, however you want to do it. Put out one offer per week, per every 2 weeks, and let it run its course. And you'll see over time which offers perform, which don't, and you'll get better at it yourself. So this has been, an episode on the scaling series, and I hope you found this helpful. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications for any updates, and hope to see you in the next one.